You're watching Soulful Discussions.
All right, so hi, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. How did you and I meet today?
I'm sorry?
How did you and I meet? How did we meet?
Well, I was trying to get a massage.
Absolutely.
And then you were going through.
Absolutely. And so I approached you about an interview for my YouTube channel, right? Do you remember what the topics were?
You said something about my feet.
Yes, so it's about your thoughts about feet, mental health, reflexology, okay? When you hear the word feet, what do you think about first? What goes through your mind?
Well, I think if I like them,
Okay.
if I feel comfortable,
Okay. Do you think about like pedicures and things like that?
I do.
Okay, cool. Today I'm going to ask you some questions about your thoughts about feet. Just feel free to answer however you like, okay?
Okay.
What about mental health? What do you think about when you hear mental health?
Mental health?
Yeah.
Well, how confident you feel about yourself?
Absolutely. I think those are really big things, right? Sometimes people can feel self-conscious, and maybe sometimes it can lead to like depression or something like anxiety, things like that. So today we're going to ask you some questions about like mental health related. Just how do you deal with stress and anxiety, and then you can answer, okay?
Okay.
And then what about reflexology? Have you ever heard that before?
You said reflect?
Reflexology. Does that sound familiar?
No.
Okay. I'm going to give you some information today about it, and you just tell me you think it's a good thing, is it a bad thing, you let me know, okay?
Okay.
Cool. Let's start with the first question.
Okay.
What are some things that you think we can do to improve mental health awareness throughout the world? What can we do?
Well, what I do is I go far away from people.
Okay.
I get my own space.
Okay.
I like to listen my favorite music and just relax.
Okay.
Also, what I did today, I was in my lunch.
Okay.
And I was looking at people around me, like just walking. I like to see how different people are around me, like what they do, kids. So I make my own space.
I see. So you're like doing observations, like what's happening here, what's happening there. That's really nice. In terms of this question, like fill in the blank, okay? The world would be better if?
The world would be better if we can be in other people's shoes.
Okay.
Like, if you can think how you will feel if you were that people.
Yeah, empathy for others, right? Absolutely. Yes. I think that's big, man. Like, I think sometimes we only focus on ourselves and we forget there's other people out there who have their own thoughts, their own feelings. So I think that's really important. Absolutely. For this question, if a friend or a loved one was dealing with like stress or anxiety, is there anything that you would say or do with them to like help them get out of that?
I will probably listen to them because for me, in this time that we are living, there is a lot of people, but there is a few people who care about you, about listening to you, listen what is happening in your life.
Yeah. That's really big. I just interviewed a girl earlier, and she was talking about that. Like, she was going through a very hard time, and she was like, during that time, like, she was like not around a lot of people for a long time, and she was like, there were a few people out of her friend group that like tried to call her and like, hey, are you okay? Like, what's happening? And she's like, that showed her like who actually cares about you, right?
It's
like,
true.
And some people say they do, but they actually don't. Absolutely.
You know, I like to do that. Absolutely. When I feel bad, when I feel sad, I also do like, I go out of my social media and I see who cares about me, like, what are you doing? I didn't see you or something like that.
Yeah.
And I also notice that there is really few people that really cares about you.
Absolutely. It allows you to know exactly who you can trust. Absolutely.
Yes.
I like that. In terms of anxiety, what are some things that bring you anxiety? And you don't have to go too in depth, maybe more surface level. And then when you feel anxiety, what do you do to counteract how you feel? Like, what do you do to change it?
Like when you are not feeling?
Yeah, so when you feel anxious, like, oh, like I'm feeling nervous. Like, what makes you feel that way? And then what do you do to not feel that way?
Well, it is really a hard question because for me, like, I like to be with people around, but at the same time, I constantly don't feel like comfortable because I don't feel like I like to be with a lot of people. I like to
don't
have
like
my own
crowds.
space, but also to be alone make me anxious. Like sometimes I feel like I'm too alone. I need friends.
I see.
But when I feel like that is when I like to listen to music, go to the park,
Okay.
walk alone,
Okay.
and then just observe people, like
Nice.
see people. That will make me feel better.
That's nice.
Walking
Let
around.
me ask you this, because you mentioned music a couple times. What do you listen to?
I like to listen like old music.
Okay.
It is Spanish music.
Okay.
One of my favorite is Tren al Sur.
Okay. Nice.
Also, that is funny.
Yeah.
Probably you didn't hear that before, but it says Vuela Vuela.
Well,
It is a really good song. I will tell you about it.
Okay, yeah. I want to know what it is afterwards so I can listen to it on my way home.
Also,
Absolutely.
I like to drive.
You like to
Driving,
drive?
yes.
Okay.
That will make me
So
feel
like reduces
better.
your stress and everything.
Yes.
Okay, that's good, man. That's good. In terms of yourself, if there was one thing you could change, right? Let's say somebody told you, "I'm going to give you the power to change something about yourself," right? Is there anything you would change, or would you remain the same?
About my personality or
Anything, like physical, it could be personality, anything.
I will say my knowledge. I
Okay.
would like to make it better.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna give you a compliment, okay? Because I know how hard it is to like try to interpret from one language to another. So you do have a lot of knowledge, because just the fact that we've been talking for 6 minutes, you've been doing fine. So just know that already, okay? I took
Thank
German,
you.
and I know how hard it was for me to figure out what does this mean in English. Like, so I know how difficult it is.
Yeah,
So.
your brain is working like.
It's double, and sometimes you can mix the words up. So I definitely know, absolutely. Okay, so with this question right here, fill in the blank. Okay, when I think about my feet, I feel. How do you feel when you think about your feet?
Well, I feel comfortable. I'm not working all the time, so
Okay.
I will wearing my shoes,
Okay.
and my feet are always tired or they are cold because I work in the cold side.
Oh, okay.
But I feel comfortable in my feet.
Nice, nice. Let me ask you this: have you ever received compliments about your feet? Has anybody ever said to you, "Hey, I think you have nice feet"? Has that ever happened?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. You know, I had a boyfriend
Okay.
when I was 17. That is funny
Okay.
because he will love my feet
Okay.
even more than me because it is something like it's okay. I know
Okay.
how important they are for me.
Yeah.
But he will be like, I love your feet, and he will want to kiss my feet, and it will be like, I
It was
told
shocking.
it was like, are you crazy?
Yeah. So when that happened, you felt almost like shocked and like,
Well, that made me feel comfortable.
Okay.
I guess.
okay, but because compliments are designed to make us feel good, right? So knowing that somebody else liked your feet more than you did, was that a positive thing?
Yeah, it was.
That was a positive thing. Okay,
Was.
cool. So let me ask you this. So let's say somebody did give you a compliment. Let's say you were wearing sandals and somebody said that. How would you feel in the moment? Would you feel like comfortable, confident, or would you not feel confident?
What do you mean?
So like, let's say like you were wearing sandals and somebody said to you, "Hey, I think you have nice feet." A stranger. Mm-hmm. How would you feel in that moment? Would you be nervous? Would you?
No, I will feel happy.
You'd be happy.
I-
Okay. Absolutely. Because that's what I'm saying. Compliments are designed to make us feel better. Absolutely. Let me ask you this: when you get a compliment from a man or a woman, do you prefer to receive it from one group over the other? Like, do you prefer to receive compliments from men or women?
Well, I think it will be better from a woman because you feel like, okay, it's another woman. And
Yeah.
if it is from another guy,
Yeah.
I won't feel uncomfortable because you know how I was raised. My grandmother taught me that
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who it was. If they were telling you something positive about yourself, you will have to be grateful. Like say thank you. So I will feel from both.
Your
I will
grandmother's
feel
very
there.
wise. Absolutely, absolutely. In terms of compliments you receive, right? Is there a certain compliment that when you get that compliment, you're like, that really made my day, that made me feel good? Do you have anything like that? So like for me, I'll give you an example. For me, if somebody says to me, "You have good energy," like I like your energy, like it's really nice.
yeah.
That makes me feel good because I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe I wasn't feeling that, but they felt it, so it makes me feel good when they say it. What about for you?
For me, I think it will be the same because
Okay.
even though sometimes I feel down,
Yeah.
there's some people that talk to me, and after they are talking to me, they said, "I like your energy."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and you're right. You
Yeah.
feel like okay, so
Yeah.
it feels
And
good.
you do seem to have positive energy. When I approached you at the massage chair, you were a little bit shy. You were like, but you were still talking to me the whole time. Like, oh yeah, I'll take your YouTube channel. And you were like still being cool. So I think your
I
energy is
just
nice
thought
and cool.
because I said interview
Yeah.
because I wasn't in my best time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, okay, let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's
How's
do
it been
it.
going so far?
Good.
Good. Absolutely. Nice. In terms of pedicures, how often do you get pedicures?
Pedicure. I'm sorry?
How often do you get pedicures?
How often? It will be like every month, I think.
Every month?
Yeah.
Once a month?
Once
Okay.
a month.
You get gel or regular?
Gel.
Gel. Okay, absolutely. My girlfriend gets gel. It lasts longer, right? Absolutely.
I do.
Let me ask you this: have you ever heard of a medical pedicure? Does that sound familiar?
What?
A medical pedicure?
No.
That you've never heard of that? Okay, so a medical pedicure is when you go see a podiatrist. It's a specialist of the foot. Basically, what they do is they look at your feet to make sure your toenails grow correctly. They check your toe alignment to make sure, like, you know, your toes are straight and everything is good. They check your feet for like dead skin, fungus. Do all the work there with like medical grade equipment. It's actually like the cleanest possible pedicure you could get. Right? What would your thoughts be on seeing somebody like that who can like tell you more about your feet? They can tell you like if there's something wrong or anything like that. How would you feel about that?
Well, it will be helpful
Absolutely.
because sometimes you can get some help, extra help.
Absolutely. And I find a lot of times when I go out, people haven't heard about this before. So I try to share that information, that there's like something out there that you can get that's even more cleaner than a regular pedicure. Absolutely. How often do you wear like open toe shoes, sandals, and flip flops, things like that?
How often?
How often? Yeah.
Can you repeat?
Oh,
that?
I'm sorry. How often do you wear open toed shoes, sandals, flip flops, like those types of shoes?
Well, shoes I wear every day
Yeah,
because I work. When I'm not working, I try to use sandals
Okay.
because then can rest
Absolutely.
more.
Chonkless, basically, right?
Chanclas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How often do you go barefoot? No shoes. Barefoot.
When I'm home,
Okay.
I like to feel the floor. So
floor.
I will be sometimes.
Okay.
I will go without shoes.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this: like, have you ever heard of like earthing and grounding before? Does that sound familiar?
No?
Earthing and grounding, yeah. So it's when people go barefoot in grass, dirt, sand. Basically, what you're doing is like you're connecting with the earth. Right?
I like to do that
Absolutely.
because it gives you energy, good energy.
Exactly. So, how have your experience has been? Because you just said that you like to do it because it gives you energy. How often do you do it?
At the moment, I don't
Okay,
like
you haven't had
constantly.
time, probably.
Yeah, but I think I need to do
Okay.
it.
Absolutely. Do you have a front yard with like grass or a backyard?
Well, no, it is concrete.
Okay. Maybe you should go to the park, find like a nice patch of grass, because what I heard from this, and I've experienced it myself, but 15 minutes a day, 10 to 15 minutes, just standing there, it will give you the feeling of freedom. Like it'll make you feel like a little bit more loose, because a lot of times like our minds are like filled with like all kinds of like work and bills and all this. In that moment, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just focus on, I'm feeling this soft grass and the breeze. It's nice.
It feels good.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So now, in this moment right now, can we see what your feet look like?
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right. Let's see here. So
Okay.
first of all, what size shoe do you wear?
It's 7.
Oh, leave your socks on. Leave your socks on.
Oh.
Just take your shoes off for now.
Okay.
So size 7. Okay. And I'm gonna have you. Can you turn this or put your feet here?
Yeah.
So you wear a size 7, and then you got on the little stitch socks here. Okay, nice, nice. So size 7, does it vary depending on what type of shoe you're wearing? Like, is it different? Like, if you're wearing a sandal, is it smaller? If you're wearing like a heel, is it smaller? Or is it always the same? Always the 7.
For sandals, it will be 7.5.
7.5. So you have to wear a little bit of a bigger size. Okay, interesting, interesting. Let me have you extend out. Put your legs down flat.
Yeah.
There you go. And then toes up. Toes this way. All right, cool. All right. All right, and now you can take your socks off.
Okay.
So size 7. Okay, you got the white polish on today.
Looks like I
All
did.
right. When was your last pedicure?
I think
2 weeks ago?
20.
maybe?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay, cool, cool. All right, let me have you extend out again, like this, straight.
Yes.
Oh, this way. Come this way.
Yes.
Yeah, extend up. Oh, extend your legs out straight.
Okay.
Put your legs flat. Flat like this.
Okay.
All the way down. There you go. There you go. Cool. All right, so let me ask you this. How are you feeling in the moment? Like, we asked you some questions. Now we're looking at your feet. How do you feel?
I feel comfortable.
You feel comfortable?
I
All
do.
right, cool. Is it because we had a little bit of a discussion and you're like, oh, I understand what you're doing? All right, cool, cool. Leave your feet out. We're going to go through a couple more exercises, okay?
Okay.
Let me tell you about why I got started with my channel. So, during quarantine, right? You remember pandemic? Mm-hmm. I was watching another guy's channel on YouTube. And he was talking about exposure therapy. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Okay. So exposure therapy is for like people who, let's say for example, you feel uncomfortable in a certain like situation or scenario. So like it could be for you, like maybe you're like, I don't speak the best English, right? So if somebody approaches you about talking about something, you're like, nah, I'm okay because I'm nervous about how I'm gonna sound, right?
Yes.
What therapists will tell you, like if you want to get better, go out and do that. Do it over and over again, right? Because what you're gonna learn is like the more that you do it, like, oh, okay, I feel more comfortable, right? So when I heard that, I was like, dude, like my whole life I've overthought situations. I'm always like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? And not every situation requires you to be that way. Sometimes you just need to make a decision and move on, right? So when I heard that, I was like, let me start a YouTube channel where basically we practice exposure therapy. So when I asked you, can we see what you feel like? That's the exposure part. Can you get out of your comfort zone? Mm-hmm. Do you feel uncomfortable? Like, how does it go, right? And so I get different reactions. Some women are completely open. Some women overthink it. They're like, oh, I don't know. And some women say no. But the whole point of my channel is to show all of those reactions so that people can learn to be more comfortable with like the conversation with food. Mm-hmm. So first of all, what are your thoughts about that? How do you feel about it? You think it's a positive thing? How do you feel?
Well, I wasn't expecting it.
You're good, you're good. Don't worry, you're good.
But I think it is a good idea.
Okay.
So you can know how people think.
Absolutely.
And how they feel.
Absolutely. And so I get different from all around.
Different opinions.
I interview women from, you know, El Salvador, which you're from, women from Guatemala, all over the place. So it's like I get different reactions from all over the place. It's always cool. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about reflexology, okay? And then we'll wrap it up, okay? So reflexology is about the different pressure points you have in your hands and in your feet, right? I don't know, have you heard that before?
No.
Okay. So basically what happens is, like, let's say, for example, your mind, right? Your head, your brain, everything is at the top. Every part of your body is attached here, right? Mm-hmm. But if you look down, also, your hands, right? It's an end point for your body. Like, this is where things end at. And then also your feet, same thing. So all those areas that you have connect to different parts of your body. So let's say, for example, if you get a massage, if you do acupressure, you can, like, alleviate, like, get rid of, like, stress and tension throughout your body. So let's say, for example, you're somebody who deals with migraines. I don't know if you know anybody or if you deal with them, but there's actually a portion of your hands or your feet you can massage that will like help you out in that moment, not feeling as much stress. It's actually a piercing you can get in your ear does the exact same thing too. What are your thoughts about that? Like, do you think it's a positive thing? How do you feel about it?
The persons?
Reflexology. Like, what do you think about it? You think it's a good thing or is it a bad thing?
It is a good thing.
Good thing.
You can learn about your body.
Different parts of your body, absolutely. Would that be something you would try in the future? Like if you had a chance?
I would.
You would try it? Okay, absolutely. All right, so usually when we get to this portion, we like to talk about sensitivity, okay? How ticklish do you tend to be?
How what?
Ticklish do you tend to be? Are you very ticklish?
Yeah.
Like when you get pedicures, are you really ticklish?
I do.
Okay, I have a trick for you that can help you with that. Do you mind if we test it? Is that okay?
Right now?
Yeah, I have a tool. We're going to use a tool. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. Now you put your
I'm
feet
really
here.
laughing.
And then what I'm going to do is like make sure you stretch your feet out. Almost like this. Okay?
Okay.
Both up. Cool. And I want you to tell me where you feel it at the most and which foot is most sensitive, okay?
Okay.
All right, you should like, I'm ready to laugh. Here we go. So we're going to try it without the trick, and then I'm going to show you what the trick is, okay? You ready?
Yes.
Right, cool. Let's start here first. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And where do you feel it at the most? Is it in the middle?
Yeah.
Middle, but not at the bottom.
No.
What about the top? Not at the top.
No.
So just like right here in this one. Okay. Let's try your left. Tell me if this one is worse. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one is worse. Okay. First of all, what's the scale here? Like 1 out of 10. What is it here?
1 out of 10?
Yeah.
7.
This is a 7. What about here?
9.
9? Okay. Here's what I want you to do. While I'm doing it, I want you to wiggle your toes. Do this, okay?
Okay.
And then tell me if you feel it. Wiggle.
Okay.
Wiggle. Less or more?
Less.
Do you know why? You know why? So remember I was telling you earlier, your brain here, your feet down here, you're sending a signal here, move, right? But also because you wiggle your toes, the energy, it moves around. So you can't feel it in that spot. So that's a trick for you.
Okay.
Do that. So when you get your pedicures, wiggle your toes a little bit, all right? So wiggle here. Let's see if this one is less now. Less?
Yes.
What did it go down to? Because you said this was a 9 earlier. What did it go down to?
4.
To a 4?
Well, I didn't feel.
You didn't feel anything,
No.
right? So there you go. That's helpful for you. All right.
That's good.
Let me have you kind of scoot a little bit more this way, like move your feet this way. Okay. I'm gonna have you do some exercises. This is the test, like dexterity and flexibility. Okay. So what I want you to do first: bend your toes, make a fist. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Like just bend your toes. Is that easy to do? Is that hard to do?
It is easy.
It's easy. Okay. Kind of keep your feet more straight though. Like, you mind if I touch your feet? Is that okay? Just adjust you. So like this. Now just bend just your toes. Just your toes. Easy to do or hard to do?
Easy.
Easy, okay. Relax. Spread your toes. Tell me if that's easy to do or hard to do. Spread. A little bit harder?
Little bit.
You're trying to like focus on like spread this or spread that? Okay. I have some tricks for you that you can do, okay? Lastly, just wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Easy to do? Is that hard to do?
Easy.
Easy? Okay, cool. So here's something that you can do. I'm actually going to have you try it out right here and you tell me how it feels, okay? So you can take a tennis ball in the mornings, right? With your feet, you can roll your foot across it. You'll start to feel it loosen up. So I'm going to have you try it for a second, okay? So we're going to put this here. Put your foot across it and just roll it. Tell me how you feel. How does it feel? Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Does it feel like it's like loosening a little bit, like a massage almost?
Yeah, it will be. Like.
Let's try it on your left. Try it on your left. See how it feels. Easy?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Let's try a golf ball now. And I want you to tell me how that feels. Tell me if that feels better or worse. Let me see. Golf ball. Here we go. Try that one. Tell me how that feels. How does that feel?
It feels better.
That feels better, right?
Yeah, 'cause it's
you know
small.
why? Because it's smaller. It can get to like little smaller areas that the bigger tennis ball can't. Try it on your left. Let's see. Good, right?
Yes.
So if you do this in the morning, it will help with your flexibility and dexterity. So like, you know how you couldn't really spread your toes? You do that more, you'll be able to do it. Absolutely. Cool. Let's wrap up the interview now, okay?
Okay.
So in terms of my approach, when I came up to you, right, and I was like, can I interview for my YouTube channel? Did you feel my approach was good or was it bad?
It was good.
It was good? Cool, cool. Thank you so much.
It made my day.
It made your day?
It
Oh,
was.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. In terms of the interview, right, start to finish, could you see how everything was going along in the line? Did it make sense? Did you learn anything new?
Yes.
You absolutely learned the tennis shot.
Next time I do a pedicure, I won't feel tickles anymore.
Absolutely. There you go. There you go. The last thing I always ask on my channel, is there something that you can say to the people on my channel that can be helpful to them? Like, let's say if they're like feeling stress or anxiety, something that you have that's helped you out, anything you can say to them?
Well, what helped to me, like I said, is to have their time alone and do whatever make them feel better.
Happy and everything, right? Absolutely. That's really good. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you stopping to do this interview with us. All right?
Thank
We
you.
hope that you have a great one, okay?
Thank you.
All right.